We are talking to a popular investor on the eToro platform who is here to discuss how he navigates the rocky terrain of investing. Please welcome Glenn Doherty.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me, Zaid.
Absolutely, Glenn. I appreciate you being on. So I want to get your take. How long have you been in the crypto space?
Yeah, so I started in July of 2017. So it was pretty much at the tail end of the last bull run, right before the winter of 2018 to 2020. So I got to kind of see the euphoria of 2017, and then I got to
Yeah.
be firsthand watching as the winter took hold.
So you're probably getting some flashbacks right now because it seems like we're in a bit of a bear market. Some people call it a full-on crypto winter. I mean, I don't think there's any way around it. So what are some specific things that you're looking for as you're navigating the bear market / crypto winter this time? And what are some lessons that you learned from 2017, 2018?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, the fact that I went through the last winter from the very start all the way through is really kind of cemented some discipline and some knowledge about, not freaking out, staying calm, having a plan, having a strategy, and just, keeping to it. My portfolio was probably at minus 30 or 40% for 2 years, but, I just kept on DCAing small amounts. I wasn't stressing on anything, and just having the faith that one day it was going to turn back around, because history shows us that it always kind of goes in these cycles. And sure enough, 2020, the end of the year, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm going from minus 40 to like plus 500. So I mean, it will happen. It's just you have to be patient. And so the bear market is a big opportunity. It's an opportunity to fill your bags with coins for cheap, and prepare for the eventual next bull run, which will happen at some point. We don't know if it's going to be, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. Nobody knows, but we do know that it'll happen eventually. And so we take advantage of these sales while they're happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, and I think that's a pretty solid perspective there. But Glenn, do you think anything is different or anything feels different from in this bear market compared to previous bear markets? I mean, are you seeing much of the same, or is anything shaping up to be different?
Yeah, so I think, well, first of all, I think it's a little bit too early to tell. I mean, we have been going down for a while since 69,000. But I mean, we're different. This winter is different than the last because of the institutional players. So there's really not something to look back on and compare to this time. So I think, as we didn't have the blowout top, we didn't go as high as most people thought. I don't think we're going to go as low as most people think. I think it's like we're smaller waves just because the big money is in it, and the big money prevents this kind of craziness. We are down like 70%. So, I mean, it's still been pretty crazy, but I have a feeling it's not going to be under 10. I mean, that's just my gut. I think we just saw the worst of it. Could we touch back down to it? Probably, maybe. It's hard to say, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. I think every time it dips down, it's just a chance for you to get cheap coins. And I don't think it's going to disappear. Let's put it that way, because there is so much money. There's so many companies. I mean, there's so many people jumping into Web3 and the metaverse. It's like you can't just roll back the internet, right? It's like they said the same thing about the internet back in those days, and it's like it's out of the bag. It's not going to go away.
Absolutely. You make a good point about how, I mean, the market is so much more mature now than it was back in 2017. There's a lot more companies now, a lot more things being built on top of it. So there is that. But I think one of the things that got a lot of people concerned, myself included, was when Bitcoin dropped below 20,000. Because I think in every cycle that we've had, the low of this cycle tends to be the high of the previous cycle. And the high of the previous cycle was around 20,000. And then over the weekend, or was it last weekend, Bitcoin dropped below 20,000. I think it was at 17,000 or 18,000, the lowest that it got. And people started freaking out. Ethereum dropped below $1,000. And so I think when that pattern broke, people kind of freaked out. Now we're seeing a bit of a rally here lately. So I think people started freaking out there. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, from like a weekly perspective, that's still pretty much a wick. And, wicks go down. People also say the 200 week, you don't have to worry about it going under the 200 week. Well, it does wick underneath the 200 week. It's done it many times, but it's really a wick. It's not a sustained under that level. So I think if we're right now at 21 and we stay at 21 for the next week, we're okay. It might wick down again, but I don't think we're going to have the sustained down. I just think there's too many people kind of waiting. So there's a lot of cash on the sideline. I think I was also reading the stable coins. There's like $1.5 trillion worth of stable coin just waiting for investment, right? So it's like people are still waiting to see, like they want to reaffirm the bottom. And once it kind of gets set that everybody says the bottom is in, I think there's going to be a flood of money coming back in. So if anything, this is a great time. I mean, if you have any powder, it's time to buy.
I just want to make sure we don't get in trouble with the lawyers here. We don't have a crystal ball. We were just two dudes on the internet talking about crypto. We're not here to give any predictions or anything like that.
Sure.
We're just kind of giving our opinions here, and not any advice. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good perspective to have. But what are some things that people can do to protect themselves during a time like this? I think a lot of people kind of get nervous when they see they open up their app, they open up their eToro app, and it's like, oh my God, I'm down double digits and I'm going down every single day. What are some things people can do, whether it's strategy wise or whether that's just mentally, to like get through these tough times?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't open my eToro account more than once a week. So that's part of it right there. If staring at charts will drive you crazy. So we all understand we're in a down cycle. We know it's going to go down. And like you said, there is risk. It could go down more. It's not a guarantee that it's like going to go up from here. So staying calm is just really important. Not staring at things, not making irrational decisions. I keep on reading on Twitter, somebody say, oh, I lost my life savings on, XYZ coin. And I'm like, there's two things I say is, first of all, why do you have all your life savings in any crypto when it should be spread out amongst many asset classes? And why would you put them all in one coin? So that's just irresponsible investing 101, right? You need to diversify. You need to be smart and not treat it like gambling, but treat it like investing. So I think the calm head, I think the not overreacting, managing your risk. So understanding risk. So everybody has to understand that the markets could go down more, but you're taking more of a long-term approach. So you're not buying a lot in one time period, maybe spreading out, and you're doing things in a rational way.
No, absolutely. That makes a ton of sense. And hopefully people can get some comfort in hearing that. Glenn, this has been an awesome conversation. Where can people find you? I mean, are you active on socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok? Where can people find you?
Sure. So on eToro and on Twitter, I have the same handle, which is @OriginalGads, which you have on the screen. I do have a domain at gads.one, GADZ.one. But I'm still working on getting that all fleshed out. So if somebody wants to contact me, eToro has a great system for sending messages. So that's probably the best place. But Twitter also. But I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, and it's like I need to get more involved, obviously, because it's a great space for communicating and for sharing information.
Yeah, we were actually joking before the show how I think Glenn should get on TikTok, because there's an underserved market. I mean, Glenn was saying there's an underserved market to like older people that are into crypto, because I think older people would much rather take advice from someone that is within their age range than a bunch of like 18, 19-year-olds, right? So we need to get Glenn on TikTok. That's what I'm hoping he does. Gets off this call and gets on TikTok so we can all follow him there.
Yep, appreciate it. And I might have to do it. So
Glenn, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, that does it for another great episode. Remember, we go live Monday through Friday every day. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we will see you tomorrow. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.